Now, the D-Day is finally here for the world to watch as India is all set to script history. Chandrayaan-3 is expected to land on the moon around 6 p.m. this evening after a voyage of 40 days of traveling through the space. The landing attempt is scheduled for 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and 2 hours before that, ISRO will be performing the tests in order to determine conditions for a safe landing. The most critical phase of the mission will be the last 15 minutes of the descent on the lunar surface, and this is the last leg of the mission, which will involve intricate maneuvers, intense calculations, and changing the position of the spacecraft from horizontal to a vertical position. If things continue to remain smooth with this remarkable feat, India will become the 4th country in the world to complete a soft landing on the lunar surface.
Yeah, we have reached the pre-landing phase orbit actually. That is around 110 by 25 kilometer. And from this orbit, at about the 30 kilometer point, we will be starting our descent phase, which will be lasting around 15 to 16 minutes. Okay. So this entire plan is worked out. And it is very crucial to follow the exact trajectory for this descent.
देश के लिए तो बड़ी उपलब्धि है, वैज्ञानिकों की मेहनत है और जो आधारशिला नेहरू जी ने रखा है आज अपने पूरे विश्व में डंका बजा रहा है। तो सभी वैज्ञानिकों को बधाई, इसके लिए अग्रिम शुभकामनाएं।
My colleagues are joining me live right now to get us the reactions of the people on ground. I'm joined by Dharani from Chennai and Neha from Bengaluru. Dharani, first to you. What is the sense on the ground, the pulse on the ground? Because I'm sure people are excited, looking forward for this evening for India to script history.
After 40 days of a voyage, today Chandrayaan-3 will be making its soft landing on the lunar surface around 6:04 p.m. and definitely the excitement cannot be contained because we've been waiting for this moment for almost 4 years since 2019, since Chandrayaan-2's lander crash landed unfortunately on the lunar surface. In fact, without any further delay, I'll just go talk to a couple of people here. So today is a very big day for India. Like, we are expected to make a soft landing on the lunar surface, and if we do so, we'll become the 4th ever country after US, China and Russia to do so. So how excited is the mood at the moment? And as a citizen of this country, can you describe your mood at the moment, the atmosphere?
Extremely excited, and we are so proud of this landing. And the previous attempt was failed due to technical reasons, but due to perseverance we are once again landing. And I am remembered of Armstrong landing in moon
21st July 1969.
1969. Now after so many years we are successfully landing, and we are eagerly waiting to watch it. And now we will go back to our house. From 11 o'clock onwards, continuously we will be in front of the TV watching the entire episode repeatedly, and we are recording that event also so that we can watch it. The proud moment of India to land in Luna. That's it.
How about you, ma'am?
I am extremely excited. As being a physics student, I'm extremely excited, and the amount of development taking place in our country, I'm proud to be an Indian. Thank you, madam.
Our Chandrayaan-1 discovered the presence of water molecules in a moon, but then in 2019 when we went ahead with Chandrayaan-2, unfortunately the lander alone crash landed, but the mission is not a complete failure, it's a partial success. But Chandrayaan-3, this will be our first attempt in trying to make a soft landing on the moon after Chandrayaan-2's unfortunate partial failure. So you've been a physics student and you've been witnessing the development of Indian Space Research Organization from the time of its inception, if I'm not wrong. So how has the development been in the space sector as far as India is concerned?
Extremely, I'm proud of the perseverance of the scientists, but for the perseverance we won't be able to do this. So I'm very, 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 very happy, and to be an Indian first, and then our
the main architects of this movement are Tamilians also, the Tamil Indian. So Indian Tamilians have won successfully in landing moon.
Abdul Kalam sir,
Abdul Kalam sir also is a Tamilian only. So the pride of, Tamils are exhibited in this mission. I'm very happy on that.
Thank you, gentlemen and madam, for talking to us. Yeah. So he's telling us that, from 11 a.m. in the morning, they'll be sticking to their TV. They'll be continuously watching all the updates, and they are very excited because these two people that we just spoke to, they've been, they've been following the development of ISRO and the technology, from a very long time, like for almost 3-4 decades now. And they are very sure and they're very confident that this mission will be a success, and they're all looking forward to it. The soft landing that is slated to take place around 6-4 p.m. today evening.
Absolutely, Dharani, and so will the rest of the country and the world over, who are all waiting with bated breath for this evening, where 6:04 Indian Standard Time is when we are expecting Chandrayaan-3 to land in the moon. I'm also going to go across to my colleague Neha, who's joining me from Bengaluru. Neha, take us through what are the people in Bengaluru feel about Chandrayaan-3. Are there any apprehensions also, given the fact that Chandrayaan-2 just crash landed in the last few minutes?
Well, absolutely. Samya, if we are to talk about Chandrayaan-3 today, even as we stand here and report right from, in fact, the ISRO's quarters over here in Bengaluru city, this is really an exhilarating experience, to say the least. It was just about 3 years ago in 2019 that we were right here in the evening when the Chandrayaan-2, in fact, unfortunately could not make that soft landing on the moon. We saw the then former chairman also of ISRO's, K. Sivan, along with the Prime Minister as well, heading out of these very gates, disappointed. But today, brings a whole new ray of hope today for the country, for Indians, for space enthusiasts, and of course, for each and every one of us who's been keenly watching the moon mission now for almost about, more than a month. Remember, it was on July 15th that we actually saw the mission being launched. And today, at about 6 in the evening, is when we're expecting it to make that soft landing on the moon. Of course, while we all wait with bated breath, it's really going to be interesting to see how this mission is going to change the prospects for India. Remember that there have only been 3 countries so far that have managed to make that soft landing on the moon. And if at all, of course, today India achieves success, then we would be the 4th in that elite club of nations to be making it to the moon. What's, of course, interesting over here is that in just a short while from now, we're also expecting the gates of ISRO's track to open up for everybody to be heading inside, to be watching the movements, of course, and most importantly, 6 in the evening is what everyone's got their eyes on. It is, of course, a big, big day today for the country on the whole.
Absolutely, Neha. Well, thank you for getting us all those details. We shall come back to both you and Dharani once we have a little more clarity about how this Chandrayaan-3 is progressing, as I'm joined by my guest this morning, Mr. Suresh Nayak, who's a former group director of ISRO. Good morning, Mr. Nayak. Thank you for taking our time and joining us over here on this momentous day where we are going to be keeping our focus solely on Chandrayaan-3 launch. My first question, Mr. Nayak, to you would be, why did ISRO have to come out 2 days before the landing in the south pole of moon and say that if there is any area of concern, they might want to delay the landing, and that call will be taken just 2 hours before the expected time of landing of Chandrayaan-3? What could be those areas of concern, Mr. Nayak, if you could elaborate upon that?
Yeah, actually, the first area of concern is about our lander systems itself and its functioning. But I am very sure that there will not be any concerns on that, because we have been rechecking, double checking and triple checking these lander systems. And as a measure of abundant precaution, we are going to do that checking again at 4 o'clock. That's the final checking. Second, part of the concern is the moon's condition. You see, the moon is having variations in its sort of topography. Sometimes, just now you feel that the landing spot is quite clear and there are no obstacles and no boulders. but you don't know. There are a continuous bombardment of the micrometeoroids are happening on the surface of the moon with a high velocity. And because of that, the topography and the landing spot might be affected. So we have to make sure that just before 2 hours, these conditions on the moon are also favorable. If there is an unfavorable element in any of these, then it is better to postpone our launch rather than hurry up and get into a position where everything is lost. So it doesn't matter if we might be losing some of the operation time out of 14 days. We might lose 2 days, but doesn't matter. What is most important is safe soft landing, and then only the operations will be able to start. Otherwise, there will not be any operations. So that is why ISRO, as a measure of abundant precaution, once again, they are going to take a review 2 hours before.
Absolutely, Mr. Nayak, and like what we're given to understand is that there's been a lot of learnings from Chandrayaan-2's, mishap at the moon surface. What have been the learnings that have been incorporated in Chandrayaan-3 now? If you could also put things into perspective for our viewers over here.
Yeah, actually, from Chandrayaan-2 to Chandrayaan-3, there are quite a few changes have been made, modifications, you can say, based on the learning from Chandrayaan-2. One important part is a redundancy of critical systems like velocity meter, altitude meter, and thrusters itself. Okay, so these have been these have to act in coordination with each other, and that has been made sure now that our software will be able to handle the operations of these three different elements in cohesion with each other, and whatever small error is going to happen, now we have built a capability in the software to correct that. So that is the one thing. Second thing is, in case of Chandrayaan-2, we had all the 5 thrusters burning or fired condition while landing. Now that is there is a feeling that could have introduced some instability. Okay, so what has been done is a very important thing. Is the first thing is the central thruster has been deleted. Okay, and now that gives you some weight advantage. So that weight advantage has been used to increase the fuel quantity inside the lander. Okay, so this second thing is, instead of 5 thrusters, now only 2 thrusters will be firing at the time of landing. So the question of instability, concern of instability will be greatly reduced. And third thing is, when the moon lander Vikram is going to touch the moon surface, because of the thrusters firing, the lot of dust gets flown up, and that may affect and disrupt some of our sensors and deployment mechanisms. So now, and
perhaps that lunar dust was a concern last time around as well, is what we are given to understand, is that these lunar dust has a negative charge which makes it stick to the surface and thereby interfere with the deployment mechanism. Mr. Nayak, thank you for sharing your views and putting things into perspective over here, but kindly stay with us, as I'm also joined by my colleague Srushti, who is getting us the reaction of the people on ground from Mumbai. Well, Srushti, take us through how the people in Mumbai looking forward to the Chandrayaan-3 launch this evening. I will try and reconnect with my colleague Srushti in Mumbai, but in the interim, I'm still joined by Mr. Suresh Nayak, who's been the former group director of ISRO. Mr. Nayak, you were putting things across very succinctly, saying that how these lunar dust ends up affecting the landing of the Vikram. What safeguards have been put in place this time around against it?
Yeah, first thing, let us understand how this lunar dust is getting formed. You see, there are a lot of rocks on the regolith of moon, surface of moon, and when there is a bombardment of the celestial objects on the moon continuously over the millions of years, these rocks are getting crushed, and this very soft, fine dust is getting formed there and is already formed, and it is almost about 3 inches layer of this loose and fine dust. And of course, when the thrusters are putting the push towards the moon's surface, when it comes very close, because of that particular push, the loose soil tends to get thrown up in the moon's vicinity. And there are the parts which get likely to be affected are the sensors are very sensitive, of course, and they should be sort of transparent in their appearance. And if they are covered with the dust, then definitely our some of the instruments will get disrupted functioning. And second thing is moving mechanism in any spacecraft is always prone to problems. And here you can understand that there are some moving mechanisms.
And that moving mechanism, sir, if I'm not mistaken, has to be in sync with the moon's gravitational force as well. And Mr. Naik, I will come back to you, but kindly bear with us. I'm also joined by my colleague Srushti right now. Srushti is getting us in touch with all the people in Mumbai who are looking forward to the Chandrayaan-3 launch this evening. Srushti, take us through what are the people in Mumbai have to say. How are they planning to watch the launch of Chandrayaan-3 in the surface of moon?
Well, people in Mumbai are all excited. Let's just try and talk to them. Sir, आप बताइए कितने excited है, कैसे feeling है और क्या plan कर रहे हैं शाम के लिए, कैसे देखेंगे?
देखिए, तो बिल्कुल एग्जाइटमेंट का है, पूरे देश की बात है, ये सिर्फ हमारे आपके कोई पर्सनल इंडिविजुअल बात नहीं है। हम चाहते हैं कि यह सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग हो, जो पूरा विश्व देख सके, क्योंकि रशिया का उनका क्रैश हो गया। अब रशिया हमसे बड़ा देश है, मतलब पैसे के मामले में इंडिया हमको लोग गरीब देश मानते हैं, लेकिन अगर ये सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग होती है, अच्छे से सब कुछ हो जाता है सक्सेसफुल, तो बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट होगी पूरे हमारे हिंदुस्तानियों के लिए, हमारे गर्व की बात होगी।
क्या विशेष देना चाहेंगे अपने साइंटिस्ट को?
साइंटिस्ट को तो हम चाहेंगे कि भाई बहुत अच्छा आप कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा करते रहिए और आगे नाम बढ़ाते रहिए। जैसे लास्ट में हम देखे थे कि 1972 में कोई चांद पे गया था, वो भी हमारे इंडिया के नहीं थे, फॉरेन के थे। हम चाहते हैं कि इस बार जो हो, हमारे हिंदुस्तान के कोई साइंटिस्ट वहाँ पे जाएं, जो मतलब वहाँ पे भेज सकें, कोई इंसान उस चांद पे उतरे। ये मेरी इच्छा होगी आगे का।
एक गाना गा सकते हैं आप बेस्ट विशेस के लिए? जय हो गा दीजिए।
खड़ा हिमालय बता रहा है, डरो ना आंधी पानी में, खड़े रहो तुम अविचल होकर हर संकट तूफानी में, सब कुछ पा सकते हो प्यारे, छू सकते हो नभ के तारे। किसी ने लिखा था, कवि ने, कि आप कुछ भी प्राप्त कर सकते हैं, नथिंग इज इम्पॉसिबल इन द वर्ल्ड, यू कैन डू एनीथिंग एवरीथिंग इन द वर्ल्ड। अगर आपकी चाहत हो तो चांद क्या, सूरज पे भी जा सकते हैं।
Thank you, sir. Thank you for connecting with us. So these are the voices from Shivaji Park, from Mumbai, and people are all excited and wishing best of luck to all the scientists and the team which has worked so hard for this particular Chandrayaan-3 to be successful on the moon.
Absolutely, Srushtin. That's perhaps exactly what India is out there to prove, that nothing is impossible through the Chandrayaan-3 mission of ISRO over here, where the entire country and the world over are looking towards India. I'm also joined by my colleague Pradeep Datta right now. Well, Pradeep, take us through what is the preparations that people have made to watch the landing of the Chandrayaan-3 on the moon's surface. Clearly, it's been a day that people have been waiting for the last 40 days, that today is the day when India will be able to script history.
Yes, a remarkable journey is about to unfold in front of our eyes as Chandrayaan is gracefully inching towards the lunar surface. As everybody is talking about the moon, I'm here with a little star from the JK Public School, and you can see there's a lot of excitement. They are singing, they are waiting for that moment finally when Chandrayaan is going to land on the south pole of moon and become only country in the world to do that mission. The last time the Chandrayaan-2 failed, and you can see here they are singing a Chayo song. We have got with us Sunil Sharma, who is basically the Kishore Kumar of Jammu and Kashmir. He is with them youngster. कितने excited हो?
बहुत ज़्यादा।
कितना खुश हो रहे हो?
बहुत ज़्यादा।
Prayers कर रहे थे लगातार?
हाँ जी।
क्या prayers कर रहे हो?
कि वो पहुंच जाए।
आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
Sir, I'm very excited.
You're very excited. You want to say something?
Yes, sir. We're con.
आप क्या कहेंगे?
Sir, बहुत excited है. Very excited for seeing that.
Thank you कौन कहना चाहता है इसरो के साइंटिस्ट को? जोर से। How's the जोश? कोई सुनील जी गाना गाइए तो जो हम इनके साथ गुनगुनाए सब मिलके कोई ऐसा सुनो। कहता रहे इतना भी हमको दीवाना, कोई कहे कहता रहे जितना भी हमको दीवाना, हम लोगों की ज़माना। जब साज है आवाज है फिर किस लिए हिचकिचाना, जब साज है आवाज है फिर किस गाइए जोर से। भी दो में गाओ टूटे टूटने जब when last time the Chandrayaan-2 failed, that time I had written few lines. I'll be reciting those lines. हार नहीं मानूंगा, जीत के ही ठानूंगा, रूठे रब को मना के मानूंगा, दुआओं में शक्ति है, घर ऐसी भक्ति है, मान जाएगा यार वो आखिर बख्शनहार वो, बस थोड़ा धैर्य धर। When I saw those tears in the eyes of the director ISRO that time, बस थोड़ा धैर्य धर, हिम्मत हार शुरेवर, इम्तिहान खत्म हो जाएगा, एक बार फिर से अंतरिक्ष में भारत उभर के आएगा। And moment has come when Bharat is going to be there. आज तिरंगे के रंग में डरा हुआ चांद भी नजर आएगा। कोई हिंदुस्तान वाला गाना जो सुना रहे थे वो सुनाएंगे आप फिर से एक बार, बच्चे साथ एक बार गाएंगे। मैं चाहता हूँ कि आपके साथ हम भी गुनगुनाएं वो गाना जो आप गा रहे हैं। छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर से लिखेंगे हम
मिलकर नई कहानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी।
छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी,
हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी।
आज पुरानी जंजीरों को हम उठ चुके हैं, प्यादे थे उस मंजिल को हम छोड़ चुके हैं, चांद के दर पर जा पहुंचा है भारत अपना, नए जगत से हम भी नाता
तोड़ चुके हैं,
नया
नई कहानी,
हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। I think this is a message for all those people who used to say India is a land of snake charmers. See the land of snake charmers. Within 77 years, where we have reached. Gone are days when we were only talking about Chanda Mama ki stories. From Chanda Mama ki stories to Chandrayaan-3. There's a big journey, a big leap. And I think that's one of the reasons that all eyes will be glued towards Chandrayaan-3. And that's one of the reasons everybody here is excited. कैसे celebrate करना चाहते हैं ये मौका?
डांस करके
करना चाहते हो?
Yes,
तो आ जाओ। सुनील जी इनके लिए कुछ बजाएंगे, नाचना चाहते हैं या आज के मोमेंट को सेलिब्रेट और कुछ ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं इनके साथ? आप भी आ जाओ, आ जाओ फिर थोड़ा सा इनके लिए बजाइए ताकि ना क्या कहना चाहते हैं अपने साइंटिस्ट को
कि थैंक यू कि आपने लॉन्च कराया। और
थैंक यू कहना चाहते हैं आप सब? थैंक यू कहना चाहते हैं? थैंक यू जोर से आवाज इसरो तक पहुंचनी चाहिए।
Well, that is an enthusiastic bunch of children over there in Jammu who are praying and thanking the scientists of ISRO for Chandrayaan-3. And we will come back to you, Pradeep, for more of these voices and the moments of joy and pride as been displayed by these children in Jammu. And I also want to thank my guest this morning, Mr. Suresh Naik, who's been the former group director of ISRO, for joining us this morning at Mirror Now for the discussion on the most awaited moment for the entire country today, which is the Chandrayaan-3's launch. Thank you, sir.